In this example, we're going to examine the proportion of female gym members. We'll use the normal approximation method in Minitab Express. Here's our research question. Are less than 50% of all individuals with a membership at one gym female? A simple random sample of 60 individuals with a membership at one gym was collected. Each individual's biological sex was recorded. There were 24 females. First, we need to determine if we should use the normal approximation method or the exact method. In order to use the normal approximation method, both n times p and n times 1 minus p must be greater than or equal to 10. In this scenario, n times p equals 60 times 0.50, which equals 30. N times 1 minus p equals 60 times 1 minus 0.50, which also equals 30. Both n times p and n times 1 minus p are greater than or equal to 10, so we're going to use the normal approximation method. Let's go to Minitab Express. Here, I'm going to conduct a one-sample proportion test. I have summarized data. The number of events is the number of successes. In this case, the number of females, which was 24. The number of trials is the total sample size. Here, n equals 60. We're going to conduct a hypothesis test against the alternative hypothesis that the population proportion is less than 0.50. Under options, we need to change the alternative hypothesis. Recall, our research question was whether the population proportion was less than 0.50. This is a left-tailed test. N times p and n times 1 minus p were both greater than or equal to 10, so we're going to use the normal approximation method. Here's our output. We can use this to walk through the 5-step hypothesis testing procedure. In step 1, we write hypotheses. Our null hypothesis is that p equals 0.5. Our alternative hypothesis is that p is less than 0.5. In step 2, we compute the test statistic. Here, our z-test statistic equals negative 1.55. Step 3, compute the p-value. Our p-value is 0.0607. Step 4, decide between the null and alternative hypotheses. We compare our p-value to our alpha level. We'll be using a standard alpha level of 0.05. Because our p-value is greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Step 5, we state a real-world conclusion. Because we failed to reject the null hypothesis, that means that there is not sufficient evidence to state that the population proportion is less than 0.5. To go back to our original research question, there is not evidence that less than 50% of all individuals with a membership at this gym are female. Our results could be said to be not statistically significant.